This is stuff you like. You can call me Ursa, and I love Giselle and Enchanted and affectionate parodies, so let me just get the two big logic nopes out of the way before I start. Why is the Queen only Queen until Edward gets married? And if that is so, why doesn't he just have an arranged marriage? You know, hello, royalty. Plus at the end, how would telling people about the Queen's bad behaviour take the Queen's crown? You can't impeach royalty. This isn't like a Star Wars prequel. Also, Idina Menzel's character runs away to Fairyland with Prince Edward having known him for like 5 minutes, having just been kinda dumped by her boyfriend of 5 years. Making Idina Menzel the first person to play 2 Disney princesses, even though the first Disney princess clearly isn't taking any lessons from the second one. But like I said, I really love Enchanted, so the plot it goeth thusly. Once upon a time, there was an evil queen who wanted to keep her stepson from meeting his one true love and getting married, because then he'd be king. That doesn't work out so well for her, so she pushes Giselle, the bride-to-be, down a magical well into New York City, a place where there are no happy endings. She's picked up by 6-year-old Morgan and Robert, grumpy dad who doesn't believe in magic or happy endings or stuff. The thing is that Giselle is actually really freaking magical, which leads to stuff like pigeons cleaning the house and an honest-to-goodness musical number in the middle of Central Park. I love that part so much. Anyway, we've got Prince Edward and Pip the Chipmunk looking for Giselle, Nathaniel trying to kill her because he's in love with the Queen, a ball, a poison apple, a dragon, a fight, a heck of a lot of glitter, and then Robert's ex-girlfriend marries Prince Edward in Andalasia. And Giselle becomes a fashion designer for little girls who want to be princesses, and she and Robert get together. And everyone's happy. Enchanted has some moments which are awkward, though that might just be my acute discomfort at Giselle invading people's personal space. Stop touching people's hair, Giselle. It's inappropriate and weird. And it does like to gently mock Disney tropes which haven't really been in Disney movies for quite some time. But really, it's ultimately a movie that stands or falls by Giselle, and Amy Adams is amazing. It is a superb comic role, and she just does such a good job. The supporting characters are pretty great too, though I have to say I prefer the hammy Andalasians to the more down-to-earth New Yorkers. I do love Ham, but this film hangs on Giselle, and so in less talented hands it could have been awful, but Giselle works really well. I mean, obviously Amy Adams gets dressed like a Disney princess, but she emotes like a Disney princess as well, and my favourite part, I think, is how she moves like a Disney princess. That kind of weirdly graceful, balletic twirling your way through life with the long hair and the flowing skirts. And so you know things are getting serious when she drops all of that and picks up the sword in true Renaissance Disney princess fashion. So her arc is, I guess, Snow White to Mulan, and then to serious businesswoman? The only thing that makes me uneasy about this growing up is how it seems to be initially achieved by shopping. Yay, I got a haircut and an expensive dress and a blow dry. I am a grown-up now. I get clothes make the woman, but the shopping montage is a little bit much. That said, they do a good job of making sure all subsequent plot developments are, you know, in some way related to actions, be they wise or foolish, rather than commerce. Though I suppose being a dressmaker does rely on people buying things from you, but that's jobs for you. Still in all, I do love Enchanted, and it helps that while it's a parody, it's a very affectionate one. I said in my review of Galaxy Quest that you can really passionately love or really passionately hate your subject material, but that I prefer love, and Enchanted clearly has people behind it who love the stuff that they are talking about and mocking. I mean, there are hundreds of Disney references in there, and it's just so great. The thing about that is, though, passionate love by itself just won't do it. You need arcs. Galaxy Quest and Enchanted work because they tell their own stories as well as kind of sending up tropes which we've all come to expect. And I cannot emphasize how much you need that. As funny as all the Disney references are, you can't build a movie out of those. They're just there to make people smile on perhaps a different level than maybe their kids are smiling. Like, you can watch Amy Adams holding a live fish in her mouth and that scene is freaking hilarious. But if you know that the secretary is played by the woman who played Ariel, then that is funnier for you. But the joke still stands on its own. It's still funny on its own, and it has to be funny on its own, otherwise it's not a movie, it's an internet sketch. Enchanted works because it stands on its own. It takes our familiar tropes and it twists them or inverts them or presents them to us straight. It's familiar while still being novel, and it presents the story in a way that is cynical while still being magical. Because people don't go to Disney movies for cynicism, and they don't go for references to other Disney movies. They go for the magic. And it's got plenty of that.